Hey, what's up? What is up? What is up? What is up? What is up? I hope everyone's doing good. My camera is being weird. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. I hope everyone's doing well today. Make sure my mic is going through. Testing, testing, check, 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 check. Testing, testing. I hope everyone's doing good. I hope everyone's having a good Friday. Why aren't you guys going out tonight? It's a Friday night. What are you guys doing? I mean, come on, you got to have a life more than me here, sitting here on a Friday night. Well, you know what? We all have to save money somehow, you know? Sometimes we just have to save some money sometimes. It's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. But, yeah, we're going to kind of go over... We're kind of going to go over just in general where this roster is right now. How you guys felt about that preseason game after my horrible stream that I had. I was using an old piece of shit mic that I had when I was at my girl's house. And unfortunately, yeah, it didn't really go so damn well. So let me, hold on. I need to put this up like a tick, because I can't even see like half of the top of my head. I have a big head. Pause. But yeah, I want to know what's in your thoughts. You know what I mean? Like, and obviously hearing that Kenny Pickett's the number 2. You know, do we see enough from the receivers? Are we comfortable at wide receiver 3? And trust me, I feel like we're far from wide receiver 3. Totally, 100%. Okay. I think there's a lot of good things, a lot of bad things, a lot of really ugly things. Okay, I think we all know this right now. But let's say hi to everybody in the chat. Love, appreciate everybody that's stopping by tonight. Much love to everybody that's here. We got Robert Jones. We got Nina. What's going on, Nina? We got Chris, Gabriel. Nate says Joey is rising from his offline grave. I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that means at all. James, what's going on? J-Dog, what's going on? Robert, what's going on? Jonas, Honus, what's going on, man? So, interesting enough, we got a lot. We got a lot to talk about today. But before we go into anything, this live stream is sponsored by SeatGeek. And now, well, let's do the super chat first, because that's obviously very important. Bald Eagle, the super chat, says, I stayed in to save money. Then my little brother tells me his bike was stolen, so I'm just buying him a new one. So much for saving money. Yeah, dude, I'm sorry that happened. And trust me, dude, like, I've had my bike stolen plenty of times. Back in the day, I did. So I'm really, really sorry about that. And hopefully, you did it. You did a good thing. The thing that you did for your little brother is a good thing. Might have hurt you a little bit in the wallet, but, at the end of the day, you made your little brother happy, and that's all that matters. But appreciate the super chat so much. But before we get into everything, here's a word from our sponsors. It seems like finding good sports price tickets are hard to come by. And as an Eagles fan, sometimes it's hard to empty your wallet for the best team in the world. Do you want to find the best tickets for your sporting event? Well, you're in luck, because I found the best way. Now, I found the best way because we can invade Lincoln Financial Field easier, faster, and most of all, cheaper. I want to introduce you to SeatGeek. I have teamed up with SeatGeek that has over 28 million downloads. SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticket app with more than 70,000 events, including concerts, sports, festivals, and more. It's very easy. Pick the event you want to attend, which I'm going to be picking the Philadelphia Eagles at the New York Giants on October 20th at 1 p.m. because I want Saquon Barkley to run over that team and really discuss the fans there as much as possible, because he's a Philadelphia Eagle now, and I just want him to wreak havoc at MetLife. And, yeah, it's 30 minutes from my house, so it's much easier. Once you pick the game you want to attend, choosing beyond a wide variety of tickets has never been easier. Each ticket is rated on a scale from 1 to 10. Green means amazing deal, orange means good deal, and red means bad deal. And trust me, guys, I'm going to say this with as much respect as possible. Nobody wants to be ripped off as much as we hate to be ripped off. So that's all I'm going to say. Because I care about you guys so much, I went above and beyond and you're going to have a promo code to take $20 off your first order at SeatGeek for tickets. Promo code Joey Shakes. I repeat, that's $20 off your first order at SeatGeek. Promo code Joey Shakes. I want to thank SeatGeek for sponsoring this video. Now, let's get back to the content. All right. You heard it. If you want Eagles tickets, guys, okay, if you're trying to get Eagles tickets or any type of Philadelphia sporting event, concert, festival, whatever, hit the link in the description below and get $20 off your order with, like I said, promo code Joey Shakes. I think I was using this site for concerts and stuff like that. It's actually really good. Make sure you're not getting ripped off when you buy tickets. So it's a great thing. It's a great thing. All right, so back to football. Okay, now there's a lot is really riding on this roster right now. And I think what we've seen clearly so far, besides some of the positions we know that are pretty clear, I think right guard is honestly clear at this point. I think Mekhi Becton did not even dress for the game. So I'm already expecting that he is pretty much going to be pretty much the starter at this point. Tyler Steen is now hurt. You know, I think up next in line at right guard is probably going to be Trevor Keegan. As of right now, he played all snaps. He didn't give up a sack the other night, which was great. A couple nights ago, which was awesome. So you know, I figured Trevor Keaton will be the man in charge at right guard, at least as the backup to Mekhi Becton for the season. We'll see what Tyler Steen's already been hurt twice already. You know, his health has been in question. As of right now. So you know, that's where we're at. But wide receiver 3 is a total disaster right now because like you're trying to find out. And look, Joseph Nagata had a great game. 5 catches, 88 yards. Okay. But at the same time, like I know for a fact he's going to be on practice squad. Okay. He's going to be on practice squad this year. Britton Covey only played 13% of the snaps. On top of everything else, you had Johnny Wilson. Okay. You had Johnny Wilson with a concussion. Okay, which really screwed everything up. Okay, and you figured Paris Campbell, you know, was limited, so he didn't go out there either. So wide receiver 3, I think, is still wide open. Why in the hell is he not getting more reps? Like Britt Covey should have gotten a shit ton of reps. And it just made it a lot harder as of right now. I think it's way harder to at least try to acquire somebody at this point. They might have to go after a trade or someone off a waiver wire or something like that. Somebody. You know what I mean? Nathan says, I assume when you log off, you sleep in your grave or coffin like an undead. Oh, I never thought of it that way, but if we want to allude to the fact that I do sleep in a coffin, I guess that's what I do. Let's see here. Dustin Immer says, hopefully he won't get hurt on MetLife's shitty-ass fake turf. Yeah, that's what we got to watch out for. J.O. says, I'm going to just ask, do you hate the wife jokes in Philly Varn Shakedown chat? Yeah, I kind of do. Just because, like, I think I shook my knee one day and everyone said somebody was under my desk, and then that's where all the jokes came in. I don't hate it. I mean, I think it's funny, but people like say it all the time. It's just kind of weird, but you know, it is what it is. I can take jokes. Neil Shaw says, do you think we need one more safety? So, as of right now, okay, I feel like they have to try and upgrade the position just a little bit. I mean, Bradbury, holy fucking shit. What did I watch? The Drake May walk-in touchdown literally in the red zone, and he just like jogged towards him, didn't even try doing anything. He got beat by a tight end. That pass by Jacoby Brissett was horrible. It was underthrown. A perfect pass. He would have killed Bradbury on that play. That whiff tackle on the left sideline, holy crap. I mean, just looked god-awful. So obviously you're not going after a Justin Simmons type player. You're not going after, there's been rumors, Jalen Mills has been released. He's played safety the last couple years, so Jalen Mills could be maybe somebody they could bring in. I'm talking straight depth as of right now. But I'm not going to lie, though. I really do like McCollum. I like that feistiness he does bring to the safety spot. A little bit of contact, a little bit of trash talk. I mean, even that one play we saw from, oh, my God, I'm trying to remember his name. The kid from LSU. What's his name? Went to 2 small schools, went to LSU for a year. 15, 16 picks in 2 years. Give me a name. Give me a name. So he had one nice play, talked a lot of garbage. I really like that. I just feel like, I don't know, it really depends on Cooper DeJean. The Cooper DeJean thing, that's where it's really going to matter. Yes, Tyler Daughtry, Andre Sam. Andre Sam, right there. Andre Sam. Perfect. Yes, 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 yes. Cornice is Sam, yes. So I thought he had a nice rep, doesn't make up for him being depth, a good depth piece or whatnot. So I think Cooper DeJean's not playing inside. He's not playing outside. Andre Sam, just to let you guys know, Andre Sam was an undrafted free agent from LSU. He played in 2 small schools, 15, 16 picks, I think, in 2 years. Didn't play much college because he was taking care of his mom. His mom was really sick. Have to give him respect for that. And got a chance to try out. And the Eagles, ended up signing him for the offseason program. So that's pretty much his story as a route. Andre Sam is a very rangy corner, physical, talks a lot of trash, the type of safety that I really do like here. To be honest, it's like I said, Cooper DeJean is going to be like where it's really going to make a difference, and we don't know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? I'm trying to think who else could go in that safety spot. Avonte Maddox obviously had the pick in the in the first quarter with 7 minutes left. When we were getting run up a little bit. Maddox, I don't know if he could. I mean, he's healthy right now, but can they keep him at that position? Do they think he's depth right now? I mean, certainly they can keep Bradbury and Avonte Maddox in that spot because Maddox will probably be nickel / safety type guy, hybrid guy this year. I think that's where they'll go with it. Nate Holmes says Becton up, Steen down. Well, Steen's going to go down because of his injuries. If he's got no availability, it's a complete disaster. Like if he's got no availability, it's pretty much done. You know what I mean? Roberts, I like Kennard backing up Johnson. Kennard is actually really good. I thought Kennard played more guard, but I could be wrong. But the Kennard kid, I think he's Lane Johnson had a lot of nice things to say about him. That Max Sharping kid, man, he was bad. Number 50, whatever his name was, he was, my God. He gave up 2 bad sacks. I mean, he was getting beat off the line like crazy. The only 2 that I really don't like, besides some of the ones we know are bad, like Brett Toth as the backup center, I don't even think that's going to work. He's been struggling. Nick Gates might be the backup guy there. I'm really surprised they haven't really thrown Matt Hennessy in that center spot, to be honest with you, because he's played center in the past, played for the Falcons last year. He's had some starts at center, and he's played guard too. Dylan McMahon has been pretty solid at mostly the guard spot than the center because he's played center and guard. So you have a guy who can play all the interior spots there, so... Big Z, not too bad against the average team. Problem is when it goes up against top QBs. I don't know who we're talking about here. King says, we don't got what they're looking for, wide receiver 3, which is speed. Ainias Smith, man, he only did one thing. Like, man, I'm really down on Ainias Smith right now. I mean, he only had the 2-point conversion. That was pretty much it. That's all he did. That's all he did. It's bad, man. Let's see here. Drone Therapy says Wilson Ross. So Nagata is showing up prime time. Great ball tracking, great hands, great field sense, big, strong, determined team player. Sam practiced well last season with old resume. Running back need 4, not 3. Yeah, I agree on the running back, and I think theoretically, unless there's more injuries at receiver or something like that, I think Nagata will still be on practice squad. 4 running backs and another one on practice squad, probably, most likely. I really like that Price kid. That David Price kid looks really good. I ain't gonna lie. I love Shipley. Shipley's I like him as a receiving back so much. I think he's gonna be a crazy threat. I mean, we actually threw a screen pass to a running back the other night. We threw a screen pass to the running back the other night. We didn't do that with DeAndre Swift. We barely did that, period, at all. So it was really nice to see that. Really nice to see that. J-Dog says, would you rather Justin Fields than Kenny Pickett, or do you feel like Justin Fields would have interfered with Jalen Hurts' job if he slips up? I'm not really worried about that too much. Kenny Pickett, man, like, what are you guys thinking? Like, Nick talking about he's the backup. Is this like all smoke for him to get traded? I mean, he's definitely not going to the Vikings now because what's his face went there. Matt Corral just went to the Vikings now. Are they really just trying to build his, trying to build his value up a little bit? I mean, he was bad, guys. I mean, that guy didn't look calm, cool, collective. He didn't look nothing. He was scared. He looked really scared. Guy can't throw over 10 yards. A dump off. I mean, throwing dump off passes for a lot of yards is just, I don't know. Is that somewhat they're trying to build there with him? It's got to be a lie. I figured Pickett starting. Okay, I figured Kenny Pickett starting was the reason of he needs more work. So maybe it was actually a good sign that Tanner McKee actually played in the second half. But it's not what it looked like at all. Now it's like the complete opposite. I mean, so here's what I don't understand. Why don't they tell us on other positions who's starting, but at the quarterback position they tell us who's the starting backup? That's what I don't get. So I feel like it's shit, dude. You know what I mean? I feel like we're not being told the truth on the whole situation. Big D said, I'm glad I'm seeing a bit more receiving back plays. We seem to have abandoned that since 18-19. I definitely agree with that. I mean, if Kellen Moore loves to use his running backs as receiving backs, and just look at what we could do on the screen game, and you know what I mean? Big plays could happen, man. Big plays could happen. We didn't do that with DeAndre Swift last year. When did you see a check down to a running back last year? When did you see a screen pass to a running back last year? Bubble screens. I hate tight end screens. Like tight end screens. If you don't have, I don't like tight end screens. Period. I don't know why. I just feel like, I could live without them. You know, I could live without them. We got super chat for Ball Deal. Thanks so much for the super chat, man. It says they're going to trade McKee. Unfortunately, it's not going to be good, bro. That's going to be the biggest mistake they make if they do that. Like, can I really trust Kenny Pickett on a game if Jalen Hurts has to take a game off or something because of a small injury or something like that? I really hope not. I think, remember the play with Pickett where, like, he got there was pressure on him on the edge, and he literally, did you see what Kenny Pickett did? He literally had a clean pocket in front of him. He ran up the middle and ran to one of his own players, and then he got tackled by somebody. It was embarrassing. It was totally embarrassing. Ridiculous. Hated that. Made himself look so stupid. Yo, we got Frank Ray with the super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. He says, call me crazy, but after seeing the replay, I didn't think the injury to Steen looked serious. Do you think he might have been looking for a way out of the game knowing he didn't get the starting job? No, I mean, that would, if we ever found out news that a player got an injury on purpose or literally just sat out just because he knew he wasn't getting a starting job, that man could kick rocks. That man could get kicked out of Philadelphia and sell hot dogs, okay, on the sidewalk. I mean, if that's the case, that's horrible. Okay, if I see any player give up, bye, see you later, not on the roster, not on practice squad, let someone else pick you up and deal with your shit, because that's definitely not happening. Not in Philadelphia, it's not. Appreciate the super chat, Frankie, so much, man. Rich says, Sirianni does not play starters in preseason. Any concerns? Guys, I've been down this road a million times. You know how I feel about preseason over joint practices. I feel like there is value in joint practices for specific positions. Quarterbacks just infuriate. I don't know. Quarterbacks piss me off because how they use quarterbacks. They try to make these joint practices like game-like situations. But you got to remember, Jalen Hurts, Kenny Pickett, Tanner McKee, Will Grier. Okay, those guys aren't going to get tackled in joint practice. They're not letting defensive linemen get sacks and tackle guys in the backfield. They just run by them or wrap them, up slowly or softly, I should say. Other than that, that's it. I've always hated for just the quarterback position. Here's what's scary. Okay. Jordan Love has been playing in preseason. Who we're facing week 1 against a really good Green Bay team. Very good team. Offensively, Josh Jacobs, you name it. Like, they got backs, they got linemen, they got receivers. It's going to be a young versus a young team, a young Green Bay team versus a young Eagles offense. You know what I mean? Do we have a chance against that? Jordan Love's playing regular preseason. That's what gets me a little nervous sometimes in these situations. It's just I hate the value of joint practices over preseason games. I can't stand it. I literally can't stand it. So literally don't think anyone's playing week 3. Nobody is. They're going to be resting more guys. So we'll find out about the roster next week. We'll find out who got a starting job, because those guys that they're going to literally bench for the week 3 of preseason, okay, the guys they bench week 3 are going to be the starters, pretty much. And for the guys that need work and obviously are still fighting for spots, will be on the field. That's where we're at. Sorry I'm behind on the chat, guys. Steve Stefanowski says, Kenny is going to be quarterback number 2. Do you think it would be good if we put him at number 3? Then how do you think we trade him? What do we get? Nothing. I mean, I'd rather have him as a 3 than a 2. I mean, look, you have McKee has been great. McKee had the receivers made him look good, made McKee look a lot better in the second game than it was the first game. And there were still a couple drops. There was one from Nagata. There was, I think, another one. There was a couple drops for McKee. McKee was like 14 for 18 or something, 140 yards. I forgot what it was, but he had a great game. You know what I mean? But, Kenny Pickett, is there value there? Yeah, sure. I guess if like other quarterbacks get hurt around the league and they can get something for him, a late round draft pick for him, but that's the most you're really going to get. That's really the most you're going to get out of it. Joel Rodriguez says, Joey, do you think if the starters don't play in preseason, will it affect us week 1? That's the question. You're facing each other at practice. The Eagles are facing each other, I thought last year it definitely did, but to find out later on how bad the play calling was, find out that Nick was responsible for that, Brian Johnson had nothing to do with this offense, that made me a little crazy. I'm hoping this joint practice thing was just like, it was just somebody's word against, I don't know. Hopefully this was just Nick Sirianni and Nick and Kellen Moore just having a collaborative effort into how they should treat the preseason. Hopefully this wasn't all Nick's decision, is what I'm trying to say. Let's see. Nate says, Love has been getting some hate. 14 touchdown, 10 picks or something like that. What I saw of him was great. You're talking about what? I haven't watched him in any preseason games at all. I haven't seen anything at all. Coyotes generate pass rush. Pass rush I'm really worried about. I think like Trotter Jr., he whiffed on some tackles, but I think he has a nose for the football. But, him making plays, like making those tackles, is going to be an instinct type thing. The Eagles can't teach that. He really just has to make those plays. Okay. Nakobe Dean actually had a really good game. I thought he had a pretty good game himself. Getting pressure on the quarterback a couple times, made a couple tackles. There was one where he pressured the quarterback, and when he threw the ball to the sideline, Nakobe Dean ran from the quarterback to the sideline and made the tackle, so the hustle was there. I thought he played good. I mean, he's been progressively getting a little bit better and being a little bit more productive for what it's looked like so far. Jake, so do you feel that? Well, Greer is better than Kenny Pickett. I feel Greg should be higher than Kenny Pickett. He might be. I mean, look, the reason Will Greer is good because he's been with Kellen Moore almost his whole career. Okay, he was the third string quarterback in Dallas. Okay, so he knows like that Will Greer is literally Kellen Moore's protege of like the system. Okay, that kid knows everything, the ins and outs, and knows. I mean, he got in the game and he was producing. He knows how to run Kellen Moore's system, what to look out for. So to have a third stringer like that right now is nice to have because he knows the system really well and could really could get information to some of the other quarterbacks and could help out a lot. So it's a really good player to have. Most likely will be a practice squad guy. He should probably be the number 3, but we'll see how it goes. Well, he'll still be practice squad regardless, but. Rich says, when are we going to hear about how preparations are going for the Brazil game? Are they playing grass or field turf? I have no idea. That is like something we're probably not going to find out for a bit. Probably for a bit. Steven Stefanowski says, Joey, you said my name right. You're probably the first person ever. You must be a very good reader. Yeah, this trade value goes to shit. Want to see Kenny do great for his trade value to go up. Well, yeah, that's what we want. What did I say? What did I say when we got Kenny Pickett? I'm like, what they're going to try to do is they're going to get his value up and probably going to flip him for some draft capital, whether it's this year, next year. I pretty much been saying this, because the Eagles at the end of the day, like, I wasn't a fan of the trade. Like switching third, fourth round picks doesn't really matter because the Eagles got that third round pick back anyway. But I didn't really like switching with the Steelers third, fourth round picks. I didn't like that. I wasn't a big fan of that. Sure enough, what's going on? He says going into week 1, cold is not good. All the mistakes that didn't happen in camp will happen week 1. They're going to learn. I think mistakes are going to happen week 1, and I think we're going to find out how they adjust. The number one thing we got to find out is really how they adjust in game, because we're not just gonna wipe the slate with Green Bay and kill them 35 plus. I don't think that's going to happen the first game. Probably be a close game, and hopefully the Eagles come out on top. Eagles says stars need to play in preseason, in my opinion. Green Bay is a tough opponent, and so now we have to hope everyone is ready. I would like to have seen the offense play a series. Trust me, I get it. And what I don't like is that your starting defense is not playing together. Like you don't have Jalen Carter, no Jordan Davis, no Brandon Graham, no Josh Sweat. I mean, you have Bryce Huff out there, but and you have you don't have the rest of those guys. So really what our play and what affects everyone else's play when it comes to corners, linebackers, we're not getting pressure with some of our backups. Even Milton Williams, Moro Jomo getting some reps, so Milton Williams have been kind of sitting him as well. So I hate how they handle the preseason games. I can't stand it. But it's too late now. We got one more week. The starters are 100 million% not playing. So Joe says we might lose till our D gets it together. Our offense needs control of the clock. Yeah, the offense needs to put teams away when they have the ball in their hands. That specific Bobitz. How many times last year did we have a moment where we can put a team away, having a little bit of a lead and then making it a 2-score game to put a team away? And the Eagles just never did that. 3 and out or just really bad, really bad play. And it's happened a lot. VPR, what's going on, man? It's Joey, my man. How's it going? Home for a while. I catch your lives when I can. Handling into some serious action soon. Prayers up, Bird fam. Take care, brother, and go Birds. Hey, appreciate you coming in, man, and catching a stream. Always a great thing, man. Always a fantastic thing. Don said, I have a YouTube video that shows every Zach Bond snap against the Patriots. He looked nice. From what I saw in that game, I saw 2 really good plays from him. But like I said, he's another guy that's not getting enough snaps. Like this is what happens in preseason. I feel like when someone doesn't get enough snaps, especially in that second preseason game, if there's a player that's not getting a lot of snaps, like Zach Bond, Britton Covey, I feel like guys like that are really in the mix, are really already made up their mind that they're starting. I could be wrong, but that's what it looks like when they play guys in the second preseason game. When you see like at least a series, barely even that. Zach Bond, I don't even think played that much. Britton Covey definitely didn't play that much. Jack Mahagoff. See what you did there. Jordan Love is good, but Green Bay lost against the Giants, Bucks, yet beat the Chiefs, Rams, and split against Detroit. Well-coached team who went 9-8 last year. Who knows that will happen week 1? And usually the first game, guys, it's in neutral territory. This counts as a home game for the Eagles, which is fucking retarded, stupid, can't stand it. Um, it's always a toss-up game, the first game. The teams that are supposed to beat specific teams always lose, and the teams that usually are supposed to lose always win. That first game of the season is always a coin toss because it's the first game, in a couple weeks. So KSF says the offense is way ahead of the defense. Even these vanilla schemes, you can tell offense is holding back. It's the D-stars that need the preseason reps. Cornerbacks need the work on PBUs and interceptions. No, I agree with that. I think the one thing we need to fix is getting these picks. We got to stop dropping interceptions. That's probably the biggest issue we've had the last few years. But what I'll say is this. Yes, you're not scheming in preseason games. You're literally just you're just putting looks out there. You're throwing random plays out there. You're not giving away your playbook on both sides. So I get that 100%. The offense, I'm really not worried about. The only position I'm worried about offensively is really wide receiver 3. Right tackle, I think, will be fine. Wide receiver 3 is just like they're just not doing enough. They've had this issue at wide receiver 3 since 17. I mean, really, 17 was the last year we had a productive wide receiver 3. Nelson Aguilar had his one good year in Philadelphia. Okay. Realistically, I mean, we really haven't had like Quinyon Mitchell. Sorry, Quez Watkins, couldn't count on him in big moments. Olamide Zaccheaus is with the Commanders right now, and he's looking really good in camp over there. I don't think we gave Olamide Zaccheaus really. I don't think we gave him enough. Not much of an opportunity. Greg Ward, yeah. Nathan says should have kept Uncle Ward. Yeah, Greg Ward, I know he just got a contract. He just signed. I forgot who he signed. Colts? I mean, it makes sense. I mean, Steichen, he's been a part of the Eagles. He knows the player. But Greg Ward, how many times we cut him? And he was very, reliable. Could play inside, outside receiver. Yeah, it's been a freaking disaster, bro. James said, I don't know how I feel about Drake May. I don't. He had some good passes, had one good throw. I don't know. Does he start week 1 because Jacoby sucks? Yeah, so that's a whole quarterback competition. I have no idea because I haven't seen the rest of their preseason games, the rest of camp, and how that's been going. Jason, did you see Nick's excuse about why they didn't play the starters yesterday? It's because the Eagles had 85 plays or something. What does that have to do with anything? I don't know. I mean, they didn't play him the first game because of the weather. I mean, supposedly it was the weather. I don't know. I heard from Howard Eskin when the game was about to start. Oh, the field is actually really dry. It's really good. No issues. And then Nick was going to address everybody and, said, you know what? We're not doing this. So. Joseph, so I like the signing of former 2-time Super Bowl champion Darian Kennard. Also, Joey, you heard that the Commanders wide receiver Jahan Dotson is on the bubble image. We get him. Yeah. So I saw all that news today. Apparently, Jahan Dotson is on the outs, is on like the edge of the bubble to either make the team or not make the team right now with the Commanders. So that's definitely something to watch out for. I don't know what other trades you would make. I mean, how much draft capital do you want to give away for a wide receiver 3? I don't know what they're looking for. John Mechie, we've talked about him for months at this point. Anybody else, I'm not really sure the interest, in where it is there, The Wise Tribe says Howie's in the middle of a massive L with Pickett, swapped the 3rd for their 4th and gave them 2 7ths. McKee should be getting reps with the 2s. I don't want them to just keep Pickett because they gave up draft capital for him. I don't want that the only reason just to be that. And that would be really bad. Big Fish Little Boat with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. He says, I'm in Patrick Johnson's fan club. Who's with me? Yeah, he's been productive. He's been really productive, man. Really good. I think he's been like the quiet one that's been kind of uplifting this camp a little bit at linebacker. He's actually done pretty well. So it's looked pretty good. He's looked pretty good. Nate says he is very hard to listen. Believe it or not, I'm trying to with Nick, but all the dip shit stuff creeps me, and I stop. What are you talking about? Slasher says Nolan Smith has no pass rush bag. That play, he got a sack. He got pushed into that lane. The running back, he hits into the left tackle. The running back tries to chip, and the running back literally chipped him into the lane, and he just kept running and got the sack. I feel like Nolan Smith, like how Georgia used to have him lined up wide to the outside and let him pick a crease, let him pick his poison, go inside, outside of the tackle. I feel like when he skinnies himself inside a crease, I feel like a lot of his potential comes out. But when he straight up pass rushes, when he straight up bull rushes, his bull rush does not, your bull rush isn't going to do much. He was with a couple guys in the offseason, this offseason, working on technique. Like, if he's got no technique, that's the problem. If he's wide, it's like I said, I don't know why the Eagles don't line him up wide and use him with more space. I think Nolan Smith needs more space, get a head start, and figure out, a weakness for the left tackle. I think he should try to pick his poison there, whether he's going to rush inside or outside of the left tackle. Because when he straight up just bull rushes, there's no productivity. It's just the toolbox shows when he hits a crease. He's got to hit the crease. So I don't think he's been good. I don't think he's been good at all. At all. Like, there's only really so much to say about it, man. By the way, Billy Fish, Little Bo, appreciate the super chat, by the way. Jacob said, how much playing time do you think the Quinyon Mitchell will play during the season? And if so, is it because someone got injured or you think they rotate? Well, I think he's the starting nickel, dude. I don't think he's rotating. You never want to rotate nickel corners. Guess who did that last year? We did. We did that last year. We lost Avonte Maddox. We lost Zach McPherson. And look what happened. We had to rotate Eli Ricks to the inside. He can't play the inside. Keely Ringo on the inside. He can't play inside. They even put Bradbury on the inside of the season. Okay. There's no rotating in games. Okay. Corner, nickel corner, and corner, you keep the way it is. You don't rotate nobody. Okay. Cooper DeJean will be the big question on where they're eventually going to put him. Hopefully, he can play in this third preseason game and show some good flash for us. Say, okay, he looks, he needs to start hitting. He needs to start playing some real NFL game time reps to really show a lot. I think DeJean will be the starting safety next to Chauncey, or he's just going to be a moving piece for the defense for matchups every single week. And I think he's at a strong suit when he is that Swiss Army knife for this defense, to be honest. I think that's where they'll go. Daniel Maldonado says, Nick can't play the offensive stars because he knows his job isn't secured. So if anyone gets hurt, ruins their chances of winning, which will get Nick fired, and he knows it. Yeah, I mean, but he can't get. But dude, you can get injured. You can get injured just walking by yourself. I mean, you could tear an Achilles just by jumping. You could, you know what I mean? You could do that very easily. So I don't think he's afraid of injuries. Well, yeah, you don't want to get guys injured. There's reporters out there that love how the Eagles handle offseason, that love it and say, hey, the first team guys on both sides of the ball are getting a lot of reps at joint practice. That's like their game time day. I'm not a big fan of that too much, but it's the most physical practice you're going to have, I guess, when you think about it that way. Nate says, I can't make it through a Sirianni presser. I haven't watched. I didn't watch the presser from yesterday. I haven't watched him since last year. I really haven't watched it. But I think the only one I watched him in was when he talked about Bradbury they were moving Bradbury to safety, and we're all like, what? We're all really confused. I think that's the last time I actually seen that. So I said, agree, Joey. He's got to work. Nolan Smith's got to work his technique. Everything with him is just pure speed and bend right now. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's just, I feel like if you line him up a little bit more wider, I think he'll be a better player. But lining him straight up, I just don't think he's going to go anywhere, man. I think that's the way you gotta use him. Chris said, if the Jets trade gets voided, would they take Reddick back considering he's showed his true colors? I don't think so. I don't know if you can void a trade, man. I don't know if you can. Seems like the Jets are keeping him. They don't care if they don't care. They're just going to collect his CPA money is going to come right in every time he misses a practice, every time he misses a game. Whatever cap that comes back to the Jets is going to go straight into their cap space. So they're forcing Reddick to come back. But they really don't have the leverage right now because Reddick could just sit out as long as he possibly can. Does he deserve more money? Yes. But, if he gets traded to another team, I don't know what that does for the Eagles. I guess they just keep the third-round pick. They pretty much get a free pick. And obviously, the Eagles got rid of him because Reddick stayed at a specific number. He wasn't going to move. And the Eagles were like, you know what? Let's just get rid of him now, trade him. And try to get this deal done for him, Let's just rip the Band-Aid off as fast as possible and just get that done, Thomas, I like how Vic is adding more blitz in the playbook for the defense. I loved his quote talking about blitzing. I forgot word by word what it was. I think he said something about I believe in the blitz or something like that. I mean, the thing is with Vic, the blitz packages are so nice. He'll blitz a corner. He'll blitz two linebackers, keep one back. Like, I like how offenses are gonna have to pick their poison. They don't know what's gonna happen. But hopefully Vic is smart in these games, and I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see more. I mean, thank God we have a coordinator that actually blitzes this year, which is great. So let's see here. Nathan says putting Bradbury in 5 cents. Might have been the beginning of the end there. New set now say, 5. Oh, okay. I get it now. It's like 5 cents. What are you talking about? I don't, dude, that man can't cover tight ends and he can't tackle an open space. Like, it's all right. I don't even want him here. I really don't, man. Chris says, hell, you can injured falling down the steps. Yeah, I can get injured walking to my car. I can get injured. Seriously. I mean, you can. It might sound stupid. Who got injured last year? The guy that came off the sideline celebrating and he tore his Achilles. I don't know if it was a guy from the Giants or it was a guy from, I forgot what team it was. He jumped. He went to go run on the, he was standing on the sideline to get back into the game. And he jumped in a celebration. He started walking for 2 seconds. It tore his Achilles. I forgot what game that was. Was that the Niners? That was the Niners? Yeah, I forgot. That safety, right? Oh, no. It was, Dre Greenlaw. Okay. Yeah, it happens just like that, dude. It literally happens just like that. The Wide Tribe says Chauncey Johnson could be hurt most of the season, and he hasn't played in a season. I wouldn't expect him to be what he was at first. Yeah, I mean, I think I think he'll probably be cleared. I'd probably say the week after preseason, or maybe the end of the last week of preseason, so he could start getting into the lineup a little bit. They need Chauncey on the field. They need him on the field. So. Daniel says, I believe the starter should have at least have had a drive. Trust me, dude. Trust me. I've always wanted that, We got 157 in the chat, by the way. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the stream. Make sure to check the description for other ways to support the channel, memberships, all that great stuff. If you guys want to watch me game, we do some hangouts on Twitch as well. So definitely join up if you guys haven't. The link's in the description. I think it is in the description. Let me know if it is. I thought it was, but I'm hoping I'm right. J.O. said, I have a question. Keeping James Bradbury now, what do you think about that? Because the rumors were just Simmons to the Eagles, and I guess Bradbury was going to go to the Broncos, I guess. I never heard of Bradbury. I never heard a rumor of Bradbury even going to the Broncos at this point. I've never even heard of that. The Justin Simmons thing, obviously, if the Eagles wanted him, they would have went after him. Then there was a bunch of rumors coming out that, Justin Simmons didn't want to play for Vic Fangio this year. And then there were rumors that the Eagles had very little interest in Justin Simmons. But Justin Simmons, number one, wanted to start. Number two, he only got $8 million for the year. I don't know if that's the entire contract. Is it $8 million guaranteed, or is it just straight up $8 million? That's the incentive contract. So. Jay, how many sacks do you have Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter have combined? Combined, I would say 22 sacks. Maybe. I think Jalen Carter could hit that, 8 to 10, 11. Jordan Davis, like I don't know what to expect from him. If he's in good shape, and we saw what Jordan Davis could do last year. Man, we thought he was just a run stuffer, but let me tell you, that man had a good pass rush last year. I think that was one of the most surprising things. So in the shape that he's in a very crucial year for Jordan Davis, where this is his third year, this is going to be the year where he really has to do something. Otherwise, the Eagles will have him on his fourth year and probably not re-sign him if he really falls flat. If his motor is not great, if he's got if he's got enough gas in the tank that can last a full game in rotation, we'll see. But Jalen Carter, though, that man is gonna have a year. Milton Williams is going to have a year, guys. I mean, there was a clip I got to show. I have it saved on my phone that somebody was at the joint practice. This never was recorded by media or nothing. There was a rep from Milton Williams, like a couple reps, and holy shit, dude, he was doing damage up the middle. I mean, he was just... Milton Williams is going to get paid, bro. It's going to happen. So he's going to get paid pretty good. Two Jet Stowe says Tanner McKee is improving and Captain Gloves is looking rough. Captain Gloves. Yeah, it was pretty bad, bro. I was proud of McKee, proud of Greer. Fantastic. And let me tell you something. And knock on wood, God forbid you need to put in Pickett for a game and just say Pickett is the backup quarterback. For a fact that you're going to run the ball 35 times. You're running the ball 35 times. It's going to suck. You're going to have to use all your running. Your running backs are going to take a big hit. You don't want to do that to your running backs in the game. You really don't because of an injury to your quarterback, but you're going to have to. You're going to have to. Pickett with all that talent around him, I hardly doubt it, bro. Chris Bryant says, like the live guys. What's up, Joey? What's going on, Chris Bryant? Hope you're having a good day, man. Justice, do you think Vic is hurting like what he says about Nolan Smith? And do you think that it will affect him not playing during the season if you want to think that? I don't know. So just him getting reps in general, will it hurt? I mean, the offseason definitely affects the players, and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes guys, like, there are Pro Bowlers out there that have had, like, I'd give it, here's a example, like Michael Bennett. Like, Michael Bennett had a horrible preseason, horrible offseason in his rookie year, and just blew up during the season. Like, some players are just different, Chris Kaufman, what's going on, man? He says Jordan Davis couldn't just be a glorified Hollis Thomas, not bad, just okay. He's got, as a first round pick, he's got to be better than that. As a first round pick, he's got to get better than that. There's no way. He could play bad this year. I think honestly, he's the most important player to our defense. It really starts with Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter. That's where it starts. But I'm saying from the edge perspective, I think it's pretty bad. Like, I think it's the worst This is the first year where we sat there and said, man, the Eagles' defensive line looks very lackluster in the offseason. I'm just saying the offseason. I'm not saying they're going to look like that, but this is the first year where we're not saying, man, the rotation, the depth, all the, we're not saying that this year. They've put a lot of resources into that secondary, which I can't hate. I don't think all of us really hate that. I wouldn't mind adding another player. I don't think we have enough to rush the quarterback. I thought Jalen Hunt in space. I think Jalen Hunt is great. I think he made a couple really good tackles off blocks on the edge, which was awesome against the rushing attack. It's just Nolan Smith is just not enough, man. Do you go out and get Yanked Ngakoue? I mean, what do you do there? Big question. So, Chris says, do you think we need to beef up this safety room? It really depends on where. It depends if they want to keep Avonte Maddox at safety, if they like him there as a depth piece, or it really depends on where Cooper DeJean is going to end up going. It's obviously not going to be at cornerback. It's probably going to be at safety, most likely. It's the Philly thing. It's Tanner McFoles. Dude, in my chat, everybody was calling him Tanner McFoles. It's the funniest shit. Tanner McFoles was clutch game-winning drive. Nolan Smith is a beast, had a sack. Avonte Max had a great game, had interceptions. Brandon Smith had a good game-winning fumble recovery. Oh, yeah, Brandon Smith had the game-winning. Terrell Lewis did a good job. That was a linebacker we picked up early in the offseason. So I feel like we have good competition at linebacker. I think it's actually pretty damn good. Like Trotter Jr., I think a lot of people are sleeping on him right now. Trotter Jr.'s whiffing tackles. He whiffed a couple tackles, but man, he's got a nose for the football. He's got a nose for the football, no doubt. But, that -3 that he missed. So he missed the tackle, would have been -3 yards, but it was still a -1 play. So at least if you're that disruptive, getting your hands on the running back or the quarterback, you can disrupt the timing of the offense a little bit, and hopefully another defender will come up and make the play. So he's doing his job, but yes, we want him to make the tackle. Don says Mariota is better than Pickett. I probably. I mean, he's just as bad. Just as bad. Well, it says if Milton Williams ends up balling out and his stats end up being more dominant than Jordan Davis, do you think Howie keeps Williams and getting Davis walk? It depends if Milton Williams could play nose tackle. That's really what it comes down to. I know he could play inside, outside. Like Milton Williams could move around the line a little bit, which is great. But as a pure nose, can he handle that? Can he, could he be the next nose in Philadelphia? I'm not sure. I don't have them signing him. I highly doubt it. So Tanner the Great says all Georgia dogs have improved so far. I agree. I agree with that. The Philly thing says Tanner McKee is Jalen Hurts' backup. Well, that's what we're hoping. Nate said you can't teach instinct. You could teach tackling. Trot Jr. will get there. I didn't want him in the draft, but I like it now. Honestly, guys, and I said this last stream we had last week, I honestly did not care about getting Trotter Jr. at all. Has he done a lot more than I expected? 100%. Should he have been drafted a little bit earlier? Probably. I don't know why a lot of teams passed on him, but I don't know, man. It's in his blood to do what he's doing right now, to be in Philadelphia like his father did. His father played here, obviously, and to make plays as he's making right now. I mean, he's being disruptive at least. If he's not making tackles, he's whiffing on tackles. It is a problem. I think what really pumps my blood to boil is when you miss tackles in preseason games. Can't stand that shit. That's probably my one problem I can't stand when it comes to preseason. It's literally missed tackles because we saw way too much of that last year. So that's where we're at with that whole situation. What's going on, Kate? Thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. He says, Joey effing shakes, my dog. Just got it. How we doing? We're all right. We're just talking about the roster. We're seeing how we are. How comfortable are you guys? So right now in the chat, everybody right now in the chat, what is the one position, and don't give me a position that's obviously from a starter that's not playing right now. Give me one position, one of the competition spots. What player do you feel comfortable with at a specific competition spot right now? Give me one player. Give me one. All right, so what I want you to do is give me one position you're comfortable with. Give me a player at the position, and give me a position that you're totally not comfortable with right now. Like that you're still like, man, this is bad. That's the same Nathan Allman. I didn't care about Trotter in the draft, but I know I like the pick. So someone said Trotter, Becton, wide receiver. Johnny at tight end. No, it doesn't have to be drafted. No. Saquon. Devin White. Uncomfortable edge. Dickerson. Okay. All right. What's going on, Punjab? J.O. says 6 sacks acceptable for you for Jordan Davis, or do you want more out of him depending if he gets pressure? No, I mean, I'm not expecting more. How much are you really expecting from a nose tackle? We're expecting him to get some tackles against the run, clog up the hole. If he's getting double teamed, if the guard and center double team him at the nose, yeah. I mean, I'm not expecting like a lot of I'm not expecting 8 to 10 sacks with Jordan Davis. If he can get like 4 to 5, less than that, I mean, I'm not expecting that much because at the end of the day, I don't care about the sack numbers. It's really about if Jordan Davis gets pressure and he moves the quarterback outside the pocket or makes him go back more, and it's gonna cause another player to make a play. You know what I mean? Who thinks Rodgers is losing his job against Kelee Ringo right now? I honestly think it's happening. Who's starting corner 2? Is it Kelee Ringo or Isaiah Rodgers? Let's see. James, I feel like as long as Vic is blitzing, I feel like these sacks will be guaranteed for some of these guys. Oh yeah, I mean it'll happen. And sometimes when we do blitz, we're gonna pay for it. We paid for it the other night. You know, we blitzed a couple times on some screen passes, and we would have they got a lot of yards on us on some of those screen passes. All right, you know what? Let's do a poll instead of asking you guys and trying to read everything. Let me. How do I do? Oh, here we go. All right. Go vote. I want to see from you guys. Make sure you hit the like button too, guys, if you guys have it as well. And subscribe if you're new. Vote on that. See where that goes. Nate said, I figured we see some hip drop flags, but none so far. Yeah, I'm actually surprised over that, to be honest with you. I thought, speaking of special teams, I thought John Ross had a really good kick return in the game. He had one good. We didn't have one good special teams play at all. That was the one that kind of went to the 40-something yard line, something like that. Where am I? What the fuck just happened? The digital printout says Quinyon Mitchell, cornerback I'm good with. Nolan is an issue, an edge. Yeah, I agree. I like that. Oh, let's see. Aaron Jones says Becton I'm comfortable with. I'm glad he took over. I don't think Steen is ready, bro. The position I'm worried about is edge rusher. I 100% agree, dude. I feel like due time they'll have their wide receiver 3, but that fucking edge dude is a problem right now. It's a problem. Because I'm sorry, but I haven't seen much of Jalix Hunt actually going after QBs. I haven't seen enough. A lot of coverage guys. I feel like the coverage guys are pretty good. I think Hunt is really good in coverage. I think athletically he's great dropping back and going after the running back or covering tight ends. He's been pretty good. I ain't gonna lie. What I really am just kind of going crazy every day about is, if you can't get an edge rush, man, you're gonna have to really rely on coverage. You're gonna have to rely to rely on it a lot, and I don't know. It's gonna get really interesting. We got Cade with the super chat. Sorry, I didn't see that. Appreciate it so much, my friend. He says, I believe in Trotter Jr. He'll be my next jersey for sure. Big hopes for the young man. I also really want DeJean to be special, man. I can see it. He's got talent, just needs to stay healthy. Yeah. The thing is with the DeJean hamstring injury, we don't even know when this happened. I mean, we don't even know when it happened. He got it before training camp started. We know that because that's when they announced that he was going to be out 3 weeks. But he's back now, so hopefully he looks good. Hopefully it'll be good. I wonder if they're gonna give DeJean a lot of snaps next week. DeJean, they maybe have to give him a lot of snaps. But if they don't give him a lot of snaps, then obviously they have a plan for him. I don't know. Appreciate the super chat so much, Kate. It means a lot. Beyond. Dane says, I think Sweaty will shore up edge, but that's another uncomfortable Huff. Yeah. Huff had a couple good tackles. Nothing crazy. I haven't seen him. He had a sack in joint practice. It's just the problem is when you don't see shit in front of your eyes, it's really hard for me to believe shit. It's hard for me to believe that there's a position that's really producing that I have a problem with. Bryce Huff, man, 43% of the snaps, heavy rotation with the Jets last year, 110 sack season, $17 million a year. The Eagles are testing him pretty much on, his gas tank, on getting more reps in a game. That's where we're at. Chris says, can Carter come off the edge strategically? I don't see why not. I think he can move to the outside if the Eagles are comfortable with it. I think he's fine. Jason, people say that they're not comfortable with like Saquon Barkley because of his injuries and stuff, but you said that you're not. You said that not you, but people said that about DeAndre when he was with the Lions. Oh yeah, dude, because he got hurt at the end of the year. He got hurt at the end of the year. And I think he missed like 5 games. I forgot how many games that DeAndre Swift missed with the Lions before he got traded to the Eagles. I don't know. And look, they got rid of DeAndre Swift. Jahmyr Gibbs. Didn't Jahmyr Gibbs tear his ACL? Which really sucks, man. He's a good back. I like him. So of course, I think the people you're hearing the Saquon shit from is from Giant fans. Like they're wishing that he's getting hurt. I mean, he's looked good. You see that video of like during open practice of literally AJ Brown and Devontae Smith saw like literally Saquon Barkley just break someone's ankles at open practice, and they just looked at each other like this, or like, it was the funniest shit. It was great. I mean, you actually have a huge talent, man. Huge talent. It's absolutely insane. Drake Diesel with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. It says linebackers and second team O-line is a problem. Hope the linebackers play better, which the ones, and pray our O-line doesn't get injured. So, linebackers and second team. So, you have an issue with linebackers. I think everybody at this point does because no one's really stuck out too much. I think Trotter's been the one that's been sticking out the most out of everybody, to be honest with you. When it comes to production in preseason games, first game, 6 tackles and a sack. Second game, I don't know how many tackles he had. He probably had a couple. He had some good pressures in that game. So not the best game, but it was, worse than the first game, but still. Offensive line, so what? You have Mulata, you have Dickerson, you have Juergens. You're going to have Mekhi Becton, I'm going to guess, because he didn't dress. He didn't dress for the second game, so I'm already thinking he's starting. Mekhi Becton is starting for the Eagles at right guard. Boom. That's just insane. Right tackle, Lane Johnson. So far, it looks like center Brett Toth to Nick Gates. Right guard to right tackle, it could be Kennard because he can play both positions. But if Steen's not there, it's definitely Trevor Keegan. Fred Johnson, I think, is your backup left tackle as of right now. You have Matt Hennessy, Dylan McMahon, and some of these other guys that can play left guard. So I don't think second team is bad. I don't think it's bad. Like if you need one guy, I don't think it's horrible. I don't think it's that bad. But you saw a difference from the first game to the second game. Offensive line did pretty good for 3.5 quarters and then fell down in the fourth quarter. But this game here, that Max Sharping kid was a big problem. And I'm sorry, but I don't know. Some of the patience, like Kenny Pickett, just had really his progression is just horrible. I think he panics way too much. He doesn't look calm. I'll tell you that. But Cade says Ringo has been out. With Super Chat, thank you so much. Says Ringo has been outstanding. How about these running backs? Oh, the running backs. Okay. So Ringo's been good. Ringo, I loved how Ringo would use the physicality of his body to kind of box out the receiver on the sideline. There was another play where I forgot. I think it was Polk, that guy from the Patriots. That receiver the Patriots got, man, so good. That guy is going to be good. He had a step on Keely Ringo going upfield. Okay, wide open. Now there was a little separation there, but by the time the ball got to him, now I don't know how much fans are going to put into this. Ringo just got a hand on him on his shoulder, I think, as he caught the ball. I think it was necessarily, I think he just got beat. It could have been just a plain drop. So I don't know how putting a hand on the guy's, shoulder pad lightly as he's catching the football, does that count? But still, like, you got a hand on him as he's catching the ball. So maybe that affected him, slowed him down. I don't know, but I guess we'll see. But running back wise, obviously we know what Saquon Barkley brings to the table. Kenneth Gainwell, I think, is going to have a really good year. It's a contract year for him. He's been great. He's looked really good. I have to eat my words. He's been really good. I like a lot of these running backs, but Davis Price. I think it's Davis Price. Davis Price looks good. He's got a little bit of Le'Veon Bell with that, he gets to the line. He gets patient. He can make guys miss tackles. Open field tackles, been good there. And he's tough. I never expected. I never expected to make this team at all. Or at least I never expected him to even do anything in the offseason program. I know he really hasn't really had an opportunity with the 49ers. I think he was mostly a practice squad guy. Didn't really get an opportunity. I don't know. He might have started a couple games out of injuries and stuff like that. But man, I gotta say, Price looks good. Price could be your number 4 as of right now. I like Kendall Milton a lot. And Nichols. I think Nichols has been the worst of the best of the running backs. So I think it's literally in the order of Price, Milton, and Nichols. Love the running backs. Totally great. Fantastic. No issue. Fantastic. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The hamstring. Okay. Well, I was just saying, I don't know if it was, I heard it was an ACL. I know somebody must have reported the wrong thing because I think they were afraid it was an ACL. Maybe that's what I read. So I didn't know what it was. Eric says, we really need an edge rusher. I don't think we have enough to go after quarterbacks, bro. It's just too weak for me, dude. It's just not enough. I'm not seeing edge guys get enough pressure on quarterbacks. At least if you're not getting a sack, you got to contain the outside. That's the one thing you definitely have to do. But I'm sorry, but it's lackluster to me. Edge is very lackluster, in my opinion. It's a Philly thing. I'm in Wildwood, New Jersey for vacation Friday to Monday, so I am a round Eagle fan. Yeah, dude, I love Wildwood. Love Wildwood. Fantastic. We got a super chat from Kate. Thank you so much, man. He says, I'll tell you what, though, Joey, damn, does it feel good to be an Eagles fan? The fact that we aren't even having to talk about our first string is crazy. I know. But you always got to talk about depth, and depth is as important because things happen during the season. The Eagles have an early bye this year. Week 5 is the early bye. It sucks. It's bad. It's horrible. Usually the better teams at the end of the year get the worst buys. The better. I think they get the best buys going into the next year. But the Eagles were 10-1. They got to 1-7. And they still got a pretty bad buy. So for that, what they did at the end of the year, they get a pretty bad buy. Or everyone thinks it's maybe a good buy because it's early, but it's way too early. So guys have to be like healthy. We're hoping to God that we're all right, after that time. 2-6 Sports Pocket said, think about how good our defense will be one more offseason of additions from Howie. Yeah, we're going to keep this train rolling. They're going to have rollover in cap as well. The cap will be rolled over. We have, $24.5 million right now, which is great. That rolls over into next year. They're not going to spend all of it, but it definitely rolls over. So we're financially, we're looking really good right now. What's going on, Rock? Wonder how Becton's pass protection will be. Yes, the one thing I'll say, Green, is that his run stuff ability is good. I think his run blocking is probably better than his pass protection. But I gotta say, it's looked pretty good. There's been times where he's been moved back just a little bit. He's obviously a bigger guy playing guard right now. So we'll find out what happens more. It looks like he is starting. They didn't give him any reps for that second preseason game. If he got no reps during that second preseason game, he didn't even have any pads on. That man is starting at right guard this year. I mean, that was a low-risk, high-reward move. And with Jeff Stoutland University at Stoutland U, that's the type of player we did get. And it's fantastic to talk about. So we have 180 in the chat. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you check the video on the Eagles Patriots review. I just uploaded that this morning, so definitely check it out. And if you guys haven't subscribe, like the stream, become a member and support the channel. It's in the link, a link in the description below, and other links as well. So I appreciate it so much from everybody. And this video is sponsored by SeatGeek. Get $20 off your first order of tickets for any event, whether it's sports, festivals, concerts, you name it. Promo code JoeyShakes72. $20 off. You can't really complain about that. If you're going to get tickets, go to SeatGeek. They give you the best results in good deals to excellent deals, good deals, bad deals, a range from 1 to 10, from green to red. So definitely check out, download the app, and click my link in the description. Go get some tickets for the season. Okay? Dre says, we are talking about our first team linebackers, and they aren't good. No, I'm not gonna go ahead and be like they're bad, because I feel like we have seed stuff. Devin White, we're hoping he's going to be the starting guy. That's going to revive his career in Philadelphia and hopefully be re-signed by next year. Zach Bond, I'm not seeing enough in these preseason games, unfortunately. We hear stuff during training camp. We hear stuff during training camp, but really, realistically, we don't hear too much, 2-6 Sports Podcast. If you think about it, with 2 new coordinators, a week 5 bye could be a good thing. Yeah, it could, but then after that, you don't have a break. So you're really looking to get that first seed. You're looking to get that first seed, have that, that extra week of rest, which will help 100%. To get guys. So you're hoping that you can get that first seed this year. J-Dog says, as an overall QB, do you like the Tua? I mean, I don't really know what to think about it. His whole career with the Dolphins has been injured. I'm not a big fan of Tua. I think his passing ability is great. I think he can move the pocket really well. He's been up and down with his injuries, so I get it. So it's been kind of crazy. All right, so we're going to end the poll here. 77 votes of the poll. Okay. The results for the poll. Best cornerback 2 right now, as of right now, is 77 votes. Ringo, 54%. Rodgers, 45%. Holy shit. It's so damn, that is split. It's almost split down the middle almost. It's almost split down. Literally, it's almost exactly 50-50. Almost. Damn. And there's nothing wrong with it. I think Ringo's been playing better, but there's nothing wrong with it. There's really nothing wrong with whatever you think. Nate said, I forgot about the bye week. I haven't even looked at the schedule since it came out. Couldn't tell you game 2. Yeah, game 2 is the Falcons at home. That's technically our home opener. I mean, it's technically our second home game. Tommy 5 said, I really hope they don't keep picking at quarterback 2 just because they swap picks and because they're paying him more. I hope that's not the case, dude. I hope that's not the case. Joe says, the thing about Ringo is he made that massive interception in college on that huge stage that usually translates to the NFL. Yeah, so what are you saying? You saying because he didn't get a pick like that in a game that he's not good, or what do you mean? Charles says, very fortunate to get one less home game against Green Bay and have an early bye week. Yeah, it kind of sucks, dude. Like, we're going to be missing a week of football early in the season, which really sucks. We'll get through September, obviously. Felix says, A.J. Brown, 2024 predictions, 1,406 yards, 11 touchdowns. Devonta Smith, 1,262 yards, 8 touchdowns. It sounds pretty fair, man. I mean, there's a lot of I won't say it like that. There's a lot of people out there that think that A.J. Brown is going to, like, that because you have Saquon now, that it's going to take a hit, that these receivers are going to start to get pissed off over time. And I don't know what these people do in their daily lives when it comes to what they do, because they obviously don't pay attention to A.J. Brown, and everyone thinks A.J. Brown is a pure diva. Ran to a couple people, had some things to say about a couple people that talked about it, and I think it's absolutely ridiculous. I wonder how many yards Saquon's going to take away. How many run plays are Saquon, throwing to these running backs is going to be another huge thing. You know what I mean? I haven't seen Alien Romulus yet. I'm gonna go see it. I just saw Deadpool and Wolverine for the second time tonight, and oh god, that movie's so good. Fuck, I hope Marvel turns around. I mean, Sony always puts out better shit, but that's just me. Pojab says, I'm worried about the defensive tackle depth this year on the DT experience. They don't have the let a body like a defensive tackle. I'm not worried about at all. I think defensive tackle is great. Everybody is sleeping on Milton Williams, and I don't know why. Everybody is just by this, and there's nothing wrong with the opinion, but everybody is sleeping. Everybody is sleeping on Milton Williams right now. Moro Jomo's been having a good camp too. I think DT is good. I'm edge rusher. That's where I'm going out of my mind. I'm going out of my mind instantly. We got K with those super chat. Thank you so much, dude. Says I was mostly talking OF. Oh, okay, but I'm excited to see our young. We have talent. I'm Team Tanner McFoles, Joey. Laugh out loud. I don't know about Kenny, man. Rodgers is a solid corner, also. Yeah. I agree with all that, bro. I think, honestly, even with the quarterback spot right now, it's really who's going to show more, but don't be like, oh, well, Tanner McKee played against the lesser talent. You know what I mean? Kenny G played against Tanner McKee played against the lesser talent. Why haven't you started Tanner McKee in the first half? Why haven't you started him in the first half? Is there a problem? What's going on? Because originally I thought they started Kenny Pickett in the first half because he needed more work. So I figured that was the case of what was really going on. Appreciate the super chat, by the way. Elmir Karajic says, Joey, if you were to sign 3 free agents right now, which positions would they be? Defensive end, linebacker, and safety, probably. Probably those are my 3. If you were to give me 3 just to pick, yeah, probably. Miles said, join me in the Kobe Dean breakout player circle. I want nothing but the best for Nakobe Dean. I want nothing but the best for that man. Like, I really do, guys. Like, I want this man to work out so bad. You have no idea. And the main issue right now is that you have 2 apparently starters with Zach Bond and Devin White that are on a 1-year deal. Trotter Jr. and Nakobe Dean are on multi-year deals or on longer deals. That's the big problem we have right now. Ron says Atlanta getting Simmons and Judon is no joke. We better come locked in week 2. Yeah, it's gonna be tough, man. That's gonna be tough. But you got to think, Ron. You have a lot that you have to think about it like this, okay? They have a lot to deal with too defensively. You think they don't have a lot to deal with defensively? They got a lot to deal with. Got to think of it vice versa too. Tom said, God forbid one of our cornerbacks goes down. Our scheme relies more coverage. Our pass rush looking like it's going to be our Achilles heel. Yeah, and what makes me nervous is that I feel like against the run, and I'm hoping we're not bad against the run this year. I'm feeling we're going to blitz at the wrong times this year. Screen passes are going to happen. We're going to fall for it. Big chunk yards are going to happen. I'm hoping I'm wrong, but I feel like the Achilles heel will be the pass rush, and I feel like it will be against the run at times. Not all the time, but we'll see. Joe Santos says, I'm saying Ringo is going to go from that play in college to starting in the NFL and being just as good as he was in college. Well, yeah, that's great. Hopefully get some picks. You know what I mean? I'm hoping he does really well. We'll see what happens. But Ringo has been, man, I don't know what he did this offseason, but it's been really good. When he says your Taylor trailer was a bread. Yeah, it was funny. A lot of funny moments in that movie. I can't even say on here. Ethan says, hey, Joey, are there any players you want Eagles to target? Ethan, I wouldn't mind bringing in John Mechie. John Mechie, I wouldn't mind bringing in. But I think most of all, it's going to be coming off of waivers. You know? I think it's mostly coming off of waivers. There's going to be a player that's dropping in waivers. Now, I don't know where we're at on the waiver wire because we didn't play well at the end of the season, so I know we're not high up there. Last year, we were like the second or the last team on the waiver wire. So the Eagles would have had no chance of getting players off the waiver wire. But since they lost the last 7 games, they should be in the mid-pack probably of the waiver wire. So hopefully, to God, and I don't know if they're going to rely on the waiver wire to get a number 3 receiver. I'm sorry, but Paris Campbell just returned to limited. So we haven't, Paris Campbell, technically, as we have read and heard, he has been the leading wide receiver 3. But Johnny Wilson misses his second preseason game. I don't want this Johnny Wilson thing to become another Tyree Jackson situation where the guy's always hurt. But it was just a concussion. It wasn't like an actual injury, just a concussion. So hopefully that's a good thing going forward. Dynasty, we will give Milt Williams a 4-year extension. I don't know, bro. That's going to be a tough one. That one, I'm not going to say that is literally going to happen, but it's going to be a tough one. I think that one's going to be a little tough to do. It might be. Because really, at the end of the day, like, what if you're trying to pay Jordan Davis? You can't pay Milton Williams. You're not paying Milton Williams and Jordan Davis. Not going to happen. So they have to pick their poison with that. If they don't sign anybody next year, if Milton walks, then they feel they're more comfortable with Jordan Davis. So we'll find out. We'll see what happens, but it's going to be interesting. Look, guys, last year I said, are they going to sign Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown? I think they'll sign both of them. I was like, no, there's no way in hell they would. There's no way in hell they'd be able to do that. It's almost impossible to sign both your wide. I said Devontae Smith's going to be an Eagle for life because he was drafted here. Any homegrown talents, I'm keeping in the building. I was like, AJ's probably going to walk. But, man, Devontae Smith did not give a crap about the money he was getting. Devontae Smith definitely took a big pay cut. Took a huge pay cut for the Eagles to extend A.J. Brown. You know what I mean? Never knew it would happen, but it happened. Aaron Jones says, great Devin White summer. I think Trotter has been the flashiest, bro. I think Devin White has been the most consistent. Yeah, I like Devin White, especially on the blitz, man. He is physical, dude. Against the run, I mean, he's Devin White. I'd give him an A-. I think he's done well. Trotter Jr., I'll probably give him a B- as of right now. I think what's going to get him to an A if he starts finishing his plays. Like, I'm talking like if he's going to be disruptive, he's got to have that instinct to make those tackles, because without that, not saying it's going to be a bad, it's you can't learn that. I mean, you just like when the Kobe Dean took an angle tackle on that guy upfield and he threw him to the ground. Like, he could have tried to tackle him with his hands and lost him. You have to get that tackle. But having a nose for the football, Trotter Jr. definitely has. It's there. He's being disruptive. Look, guys, everyone misses tackles in every game. There are pros that miss tackles in games every game. But then the other player will make a play. So if you're disruptive enough where you make the running back go backwards, you make the quarterback go backwards, move outside the pocket, you're doing your job. And if you don't make the tackle, and hopefully not a bigger play doesn't come from that, Dre says, because McKee would have gotten murdered against their first-team defense with our second-team offense. Well, yeah, probably yes. Jason Smith said, McKee gives me Phillip Rivers vibes. He has high IQ and has amazing reads. He will be a starter in this league. Really? You think he'll actually start for another team? I mean, he looks really good. Then he says, that's a lot to deal with. He wants to play the stars at least a series each. I know. I mean, that's what worries. What worries me is these guys didn't play in preseason. They did the same. They actually played more last year, which is actually they played more in preseason last year. They played for literally a fucking series that went nowhere. They played in a series last year in the first preseason game that literally went absolutely nowhere. Tommy says, Eagles clips, we're drafted an outside cornerback. His name is Quinton Mitchell. He needs to be starting outside next year, even if Rodgers is here. Yeah, that's 100%. Rodgers, I don't know if he's going to be here next year. I think it's going to be Keely Ringo and Quignon on the outside. That's where I think it's. You're not, Rodgers has a good year. I don't think you're going to pay him a lot of money. I don't think. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go. But I think it's going to be Quignon. Once whether Slay's getting traded or he's retiring, whatever. I think Slay still has another year left after this year, after next year on his contract. I could be wrong after this year on his contract. I could be wrong on the contract, so we'll see. Let's see. J-Dog says Trotter going to be better and want to be better than his dad? Well, of course he does. But Trotter and Trotter Jr. are two different players. Two different players by a landslide. The Philly 500 House of Mouse, what's going on, dude? It pissed me off that the offense starters didn't play this offseason clown show. I am afraid Green Bay will beat us. Yeah, and you know what? You know who's getting reps? Jordan Love's getting reps than preseason. All I'm going to think about, if we're losing that Green Bay game, all I'm going to think, it depends. Like, if the offense is doing good and the defense is really failing us, there'll be a different story. But crazy. Ethan says, don't you feel like we need some veteran leadership on the D-line? I don't see anybody holding it down like Cox. I mean, Brandon Graham's a vet, Josh Sweat's a vet at this point. Josh Sweat's a veteran player at this point. I'm not, when it comes to leadership, I'm not really worried about it too much. Leadership is all over the defense. The Fifth Power Mouse Club says, I would agree, but he has had 2 amazing off seasons and has a cannon. I could see him being a starter too one day. 2-6 Sports Pocket said, if we go defense with our first 2 picks next year, that side of the ball is going to be so young and talented. Yeah, well, I know they're definitely going to go for tight end next year. I think tight end is a fucking disaster right now. You want to talk about, we thought wide receiver 3. I think offensively tight end is the worst right now. Calcaterra's hurt. Albert O's hurt. I mean, these guys can't stay healthy. Calcaterra especially. That's Mr. I stubbed my toe, stubbed my finger, and he's out. Okay? Those 2 players, fucking Christ, dude. CJ Usama hasn't been good since he left the Bengals a few years back. He was with the Jets. I think he had an injury. He's 31 years old. CJ Usama is his blocking is god awful. If you can't block as a tight end, you're not even gonna make it, dude. EJ Jenkins, bro. EJ Jenkins, honestly, should probably be close to the wide receiver. The tight end 2 spot. Yeah, Ryan says give Jack Stahl back. Yeah, Jack Stahl was very reliable. Blocking was great. Reliable hands, size, can get separation at times. Liked him. Calcaterra, the only thing I have an issue with him is, can he block? I don't even know if he could block to this point, really. But I think tight end is going to be... Look, think about it. Dallas Goedert's 28. In 2 years, throughout the 26th season, okay? After the 26th season is going to be his last year. So after 26, that offseason, he will be a free agent by the time after he turns 30. So... Ryan said, if Rodgers balls out, we ain't going to be able to keep him. Well, it depends. Yeah, we might not be. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. Depends on the year. It really depends on the year that he has, but we don't know if he's starting at quarterback 2 right now. I honestly want Ringo. I think Ringo's been better. Now, Ringo had better practices in training camp in the beginning when there was no pads. And then once the pads came on, it seemed like Isaiah Rodgers has had better... that has started a lot more with pads on. But the one thing that Ringo has had over Isaiah Rodgers is Ringo has had more production over opponents, whether it's joint practices, or these preseason games. Isaiah Rodgers, to me, has not made a lot of plays in these preseason games. He's gotten beaten on some underneath throws. I could agree with that. I think Ringo has showed you more in front of our eyes when it comes to facing against our team. Seems like, look, You have to take it into consideration against our team. You know every player, you know their strength, you know their weakness, you know if the player's bad at a specific coverage or the way he runs a specific route or something like that. You know how to treat them. But every week it's going to be different. I think Ringo has played better against competition. I think pure competition, he's just been better. Bring back Linval? Yeah, not now. He ain't joining a team this early. Jay said, how much playing time do you think Will Shipley will have when it's the right time to sub him in? If you're the Eagles, like when Saquon tired, because I feel like Eagles running more with the football. I mean, literally, like Shipley will probably be the number 3 back right now. I think as he starts to look a lot better, he might get more snaps than Gainwell later in the year, maybe. Saquon can handle the snaps. You have to run with him. You have to pass the ball to him. You have to get him out as a receiving back. Kellen Moore loves that. Okay. It's going to be amazing. Will Shipley. There's a lot of people out there that were like, oh, they didn't expect this type of productivity with Will Shipley. Like, throw a screen pass. Give him open space. Throw it to him on stride. And I'm telling you, you're gonna get a playmaker, bro. You're gonna get a playmaker. Jay said, us not playing our starters could hurt against Green Bay. I agree 100%. I'm not disagreeing because it reminds me of last year in a lot of ways. Hedger says, didn't think Patrick Johnson and Jackson would develop. Looks like they'll be behind Sweat, BG, Smith, and Huff. Yeah, probably. Yeah, most likely. Eagles Clip says, I swear, Howie better pay White. If he plays well, we can't keep letting good linebackers just leave like Kaiser, White, and TJ Edwards. Yeah, that's a big problem too. I think that's one of the biggest problems. Like I said, 1-year deals for your starting linebackers right now. Right now. It looks like, from what it looks like for preseason and the reps that they're giving, it looks like Zach Bond is a starting linebacker right now. That's what it looks like. You know, you can't let both. You got to let one of them go, but one of them has got to resign. I'm hoping it's Devin White, honestly. I'm hoping Devin White works out well. Yeah, they messed up on TJ Edwards, bro. They messed up on TJ Edwards. I agree. The Philly Firehouse Club says Ringo is so physical. Oh, yeah. I mean, Rodgers is a physical corner too, but Ringo, man, when you actually see it in person or it's like see it in general, it's amazing to watch. Oh, yeah, Eagle Clips. TJ Edwards is only making $7 million a year, top 10 linebacker. I can't understand why Howie devaluates the position so much, and every time we have a good productive linebacker, we make the Super Bowl. Yeah. Going into the 22 season, okay? Sorry. Going into 23, they said, oh, we have the Kobe D. They hired mediocrity at linebacker when the Kobe Dean was coming in the 2023 season. They literally said, oh, we got Nakobe Dean. Let's just put some mediocre crap around him. And that's what they did. You know, like they triple dipped in free agency. Like they were literally trying to get a body in there. You know? 206 Sports says, I'm the one that thinks we actually smoke Green Bay week 1. I'm predicting 42-21. Shit, that'd be a good game. They score 42 points their first game. Shit. Tosh, I think Green Bay game is going to be close. I think it's going to be close. I don't think we're going to look all that great as everyone thinks just because it is the first game. Quan says, Quan Jones says, I'm an Eagles fan, but I could see Green Bay beating us. If we win, it's going to be a shootout. I think so, too. I honestly think so, too. Jay says, are you high on keeping Slay next year? Or are you like, okay, if Eagles keep Slay next year, no, I don't want him here. He's done. He's either going to retire or the Eagles trade him. Eagles, if we could try to trade him, that'd be great. And get like a 4th, a 5th round pick for him. I'm hoping like a 5th rounder or something for him. He's not going to be no, you're not. I was perfectly okay with Slay staying this year. I've had no issues with Slay being here, really. So See. Leon said, I got Green Bay beating us 38-35. I'm just worried about Love having a field day. They got to get pressure on him. But the one thing that Love has, he's got a rushing attack with himself. That man can run. Really good. Edith says, I was thinking more of DT leadership, Joe. You know it's hard for Brandon to turn up the guys when he isn't even a starter anymore and doesn't play DT. Got to keep... Well, dude, it's preseason games. Like, you're not looking for... you're looking for guys to produce. Like, leadership in a preseason game when you're not really scheming against another team. Like, you want your leaders to, or your playmakers to ascend themselves and get better and maybe become leaders later on. But I don't think that's the main thing right now. I think they have moral support from the sideline, so. It's especially if we struggle against the run. Yeah. Tommy says the Green Bay game is going to come down to defense. Leon says, what do you think the score will be week 1? I would say 31-24, maybe. 31-27, maybe. Eagles. 2-6 Sports. The Bengals call you and offer you Burrow for Hurts straight up. Would you do it? No. Why? Why ruin the chemistry? I mean, all you're going to do is ruin chemistry with that. I don't think Joe Burrow's looked that great this offseason program anyway. Even if he did, I'm sticking with my guy, Jalen Hurts. Eagles coach, this first week will be a nail biter. It's going to be a shootout because I see the offense having to carry the defense in the first half. I can see the offense, scoring a lot. Watch it be the total opposite. I'd be shocked. This offense, they didn't have one dominating performance last year. It was an ugly game, a ugly game winner every game last season. Jay says, I feel like people forget that Packers got Josh Jacobs. He's going to be good. Yeah, they got him too. They're going to be good, man. They're going to be good. I don't watch UFC, bro. I couldn't tell you. The Philadephia says, score prediction week 1, Eagles 34, Packers 20. 2-6 Sports Podcast says, what's your favorite snack? Snack? Oh, man, a snack could be like dinner for me because I'm a friggin' slob. So, I honestly don't know snack wise. What's the thing called? It's the dough with the salami, ham, fresh mozzarella in the oven. What the hell is it called? I keep forgetting what that's called. Why am I forgetting? Stromboli. Stromboli's good. Stromboli's good. Jack Leonard, fucking hell no. Between his neck to his back, the back surgeries, the neck surgeries, shit, no. That's like last resort, bro. That's like if no. That was a joke last year. He says, for years we were notorious for stopping the run, and lately it seems to be our Achilles heel. What do you think changed? Personnel, new coordinator, putting in more of our assets into the secondary. Like, even if like a guy runs up the middle for a couple yards and the linebacker comes down and makes a tackle, like I don't care about that, Digital says, damn, Stromboli is a snack? Yeah, dude, like, all right, so you put out snacks for the game. What? Fucking cheese and crackers? What? A vegetable plate? Like what? A vegetable plate with that disgusting vegetable dipping sauce in the middle? Here's another thing I eat. Not all the time, but it's because it's really fattening. You put three bars of cream cheese on the bottom of a glass pan. 3 bars of cream cheese. You flatten it out. Hormel chili, a can of that. 2 cans of Hormel chili on the top of that. You put cheese, mozzarella cheese on the top, or cheddar cheese probably, and then you put it in the oven. You put some nachos in there. Goddamn. That's all I got to say. Somebody invite me over. Someone invite me over. I swear to God. Come over to my house. There's plenty of stuff. Trust me. J-Oak says, do you have any overall thoughts on people want 2 bye weeks and you think it's good for the players? 2 bye weeks would be great. And then if you can make the first seed, you'll have another bye week. You know what I mean? When you have you'll have a mini bye week. If you have a Monday game, a Thursday game to a Monday game, it's actually not that. If you have a Thursday game to a Monday game, it's a pretty good week. You know, it's a mini bye week, so you can have an extra couple days off from that as well. Frozen grapes, sprinkles, sugar, and lemon. That sounds crazy. I can't even, trust me, I can't say anything bad because it's probably bomb. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, I got to say, Leon, like Julio Jones, like, I got to say, like, that is probably the best idea. That's probably a really good idea. But I think, honestly, dude, they want more speed. They want speed on the inside. Like, I'm talking pure speed on the inside. They want a guy and pre-snap pre-snap. It's going to be interesting. Julio, I thought under better coaching would have been great. Julio was actually really good. I actually enjoyed it a lot. I had no problem with Julio Jones. Speedy Eagle says, honestly, if the Eagles brought back Zach Cunningham, it would be fine. But but he was our best linebacker minus the injuries last year. He was our best he was our best back. He was our best linebacker under a really bad group. What's going on, Yipa? Now that's, yeah, see, I know what the fuck I'm talking about when I talk about food, bro. I know what I'm talking about. Billy Flowers said, Howie didn't do enough to improve the defense. Nolan Smith is average. There's only so much you could do in an off season. There's only so much you could do. You know what I mean? You can't have an all-pro at every position. But Nolan Smith, Nolan Smith hasn't looked great. For me, that sack that he got pushed into that fucking lane, and he just was in the right. He got pushed in the right spot at the right time, and I don't count that as anything. Like the first preseason game, he had no blocker. He had a backside sack. Like I hate when guys get sacks not being blocked. Like I feel, I mean, that's nothing. For me, it's nothing. That's just me though, you know. Philly Flowers said, I completely understand, brother, but Simmons for $8 million, we have 20+ million cap. Yeah, but we don't know if the Eagles had much interest. Like, I feel like if they wanted him, they would have had him. You know what I mean? Marv says, I think Nolan could be a decent backup, especially if he doesn't bull rush. The bull rush, he's not going to get anywhere with that, bro. Tommy said, I do always think about that Nolan Smith pick from Howie. He could have drafted someone else or traded back. That pick felt forced, low-key. I think we're only just saying that because of just how it is. What happened to Nolan Smith last year was not his fault. He had an injury, but they didn't play him barely. End of the season, they did a lot towards the ending of when we were falling apart. But how much do you put behind good? I mean, there's no good coaching behind that last year. Demoting Sean Desai for Matt Patricia. Come on now. But I get it, dude. The talent, I see the talent. It's actually right in front of us. They have to line him up wide and let him attack a crease, not full on. Like, you can't go against, I mean, he's just doesn't have enough tools in the toolbox right now. But when he actually does use his tools, he looks great. I see it. But straight up bull rushing a tackle is not, he's going nowhere. Part 5 said, if Nolan Smith doesn't show significant improvement this year, then he's considered a bust. Yeah. You know, not playing barely playing the whole year last year. I mean, or can we? Is that enough to call him a bust? Maybe. I mean, he's barely flat. I mean, is he like flashing that much? No. Is he giving us a little bit of something? Sure. But I don't even think we could call it the term of flash. The Philly Flower Mouse Club says, scary that we're going to be thinking about Smith at 10 if Carter or Bijan wasn't there. Yeah, I mean, it would have. Yeah, I mean, I think they would have drafted Bijan Robinson. Me and Philly believe that 100%. They would have done it. I think it was definitely in the cards. Because we thought Jalen Carter was going to go to Seattle at 5, 6. We didn't think he was making it past Chicago, the pick before us at 10. Well, we were at 10. They were at 9. And he dropped in our lap. We moved up one spot. You know? Pedro says, sometimes getting pushed is all you need to make a difference. Marv says, remember, it took BG some time. He eventually developed. No, I get it. You know, unfortunately, he developed in the latter part of his career. But, you know, sometimes that happens. But it's amazing how, you know, if Brandon Graham doesn't have good seasons early in his career, that the Eagles never got rid of him, you know, and then to say, holy shit, thank God they never did, you know. Hector says, why the fuck not put Nolan that outside linebacker? He dropped back more in college and was great. Yeah, I get it, dude. I think in open space and a coverage aspect, the athleticism is that's where his strength is. You know, I think that's where his definite strength is, no doubt. Tom said, I get that we didn't give him reps and like we should have, but he's not just consistent this year. I just remember him falling in the draft. Joey, is he really a first-round talent? He's not looking like one. He could be a late second round talent, maybe. Ryan said, Nolan should have until mid-year 3 to show what he has. He's a backup, but really needs a counter move to evaluate his game. I agree. A counter move, definitely. Eden says, if the defense can be middle of the pack, we will make NFC Championship game. Oh, I mean, yes. I mean, average defenses can get into a Super Bowl. Your offense, with how the league is today, with a strong passing game, that's all you need. All you need is an average defense or better to get into a Super Bowl now. Ryan said, I wish they put him outside linebacker, not force him into an edge. Yeah, he's dropped in coverage too, but we need to see who can get after the quarterback right now. Alex Hunt hasn't done enough of that. A lot of coverage guys, just not enough edge rushers. I'm not seeing enough edge pressure. You know? Eagles Clips his thoughts on Paris Campbell. He's been the best receiver in camp, but since he's been hurt, we haven't seen him in a preseason game yet. He's another guy that's up in the air right now. How is he going to look? Is he going to be able to stay healthy? He wasn't healthy last year. Quan says, scary to think we could start 0-2. That Falcons game looking scary. Look, guys, last year, once we hit that Miami game last year, all of us were shitting our pants to think that they were going to lose like 4 straight games. You had Miami, you had the Bills, you had KC. Like, you had a tough stretch last year with bad coaching. And what brought you that far was talent, but talent can only bring you so far. We were not feeling good about going to that Miami game and then the Bills, KC, and some of these other teams. That was a hard stretch. That was really the meat and potatoes of this roster. You know, but this offseason program, I'm hoping to God that it's paying off for the starters to sit out preseason and put more value into these joint practices and obviously the regular practices. The one thing I've been hearing that's been really good about the practices, training camp in general, has been really tough. It's been more demanding. I mean, even Vic Fangio was like, man, if we could do 2-a-days and it was like not against the law, like I would do it. He would do 2-a-days with this team every day for that defense. So that's right. We have 186 in the chat. Thank you so much for joining up tonight. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you are new. Thank you so much. If you guys haven't, hit the like button. Let's hit the like button to this video. I don't even know how many likes we have. 188. Let's get 200 likes for this video. Let's do it up. Appreciate it so much. This video is sponsored by SeatGeek. Get $20 off your next order of tickets for any sports, sports game, festival, concert, you name it. $20 off. Link in the description. Promo code Joey Shakes 72. Sorry, Joey Shakes. Sorry, I always say my whole name. CJ says, "Hey Joey, I'm really worried about tackling again this year." I know. Trust me. I'm very worried about it. The defense has got me worried this year, only because it did so bad last year. You know, the offense won football games last year, but they were never dominating. We never had a dominating performance with that offense last year. It's a shame. Billy says, NFC Championship ain't enough. We need rings, not excuses, and wasted offensive talent. I get it, dude. I get it. It's not enough. No one could be worse. He could be. I don't think he'll turn up to be. I don't think he'll be another Marcus Smith, to be honest. I feel like the talent is there. I feel like it is there. I feel like we're just waiting for that moment. And it's really just how you use these players, too. The Philly 500 House of Mouse Club says Falcons overhyped, bunch of washed players. Yeah, their offense isn't, I don't think, as good as everyone thinks it is. Their defense looks, pretty good. But J.O. says, out of all three players, who do you think is going to step up? Nolan, Jordan, or Dean? This year, out of all three of those guys, mostly, I probably would have to say Jordan Davis, because I just have more promise in him in my own soul that he will have a better motor this year. I feel like he will get some pressures. He'll be a nice run stuffer for us. He'll clog the middle, hold his ground for these linebackers to go downhill and shoot the gaps really good. Not that I don't have. I think I would say in order, Davis, Dean, and Nolan Smith will probably be my order. So that's where we're at right now. I mean, it's still wide receiver 3 is up in the air. Safety still up in the air because I don't know where they're throwing DeJean. Tight end. Can EJ Jenkins become the number 3 behind Goddard, Calcaterra? We'll see. And can we find an edge rusher? Can we find someone that can rush the edge, man? It's making me nervous. DT's good. Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Milton Williams, Ojomo. I think we're fine there. That guy Booker's been pretty good too. That Booker guy, I actually liked him a little bit. He's been making plays here and there too. But we'll see what happens. But that edge rush is that's where we're at. OG Kush says, after we signed Saquon, my son told me the time is now. Let me tell you something. Me and Philly came up with the idea that the black horse, the big gamble was that the Eagles would sign Saquon Barkley in the offseason. And there were a lot of people out there that were shitting all over that idea. Too many people were shitting all over it. So I don't know why people were crapping all over it. Probably because they thought it was going to be impossible. But man, we haven't had a running back with that much talent in the building in really since LaShawn McCoy. That's really been the last time we had a huge talent like that. So it's great. Quanjo says, Joey, what's your ideal weekend look like? Just chilling, man. Gonna make some content for you guys as usual. We'll be streaming some of the training camp practices for the last week. And that's it. We got 20-something days left, Got 20-something days left. Remember, tomorrow night, Saturday, we have the Shakedown podcast. So we'll be streaming tomorrow night as well. There'll be a video tomorrow as well. James says, add the Jets to the list. I won't do deals with Howie anymore. Yeah, you're looking like it's probably a possibility. I think Ngakoue is still available from what I know. I think he's still available. Philly Flowers, I don't care who does it, but I need to see 50, 60 sacks. If not, Jalen going to have to put up 50. I want to see more picks. I want to see more picks this year. Sacks are great, but I want to see picks, dude. That's what I really want to see this year. That's where I'm going at this year. So, Jason Smith says Shakedown season 4, episode 5. Definitely. I haven't even kept track of how many episodes we've done. Totally, But yeah, other than that, that's gonna be it. We streamed for about almost 2 hours. I'm gonna try not to stream for 10 million hours today. But I have to do. You'll have a video out early in the morning or middle of the morning tomorrow, so definitely check it out. And we'll be back tomorrow. Shakedown tomorrow night. A lot to talk about. We're gonna be talking about the second preseason game, all the positions. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome. So definitely check out the stream with me and Philly. And that's pretty much it, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope everyone's doing well. And we'll be back tomorrow night with more content, more stuff for you guys. Make sure you hit the like button before you leave. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. We do Eagles content every single day. We'll be streaming. We're going to be streaming the last preseason game, as much as it's probably going to be boring as shit. Because they're not going to be playing. We're going to see who's sitting. We're going to find out who's sitting next week. And, Cheers, thank you for making Jameson Smith. Thank you for making content. I got you, bro. I got you. As usual. So, but yeah. We'll see you guys on the next one tomorrow night. You guys enjoy. I'll see you guys on the next one. Shakes, what up? Fly outside. Peace out, guys. You guys enjoy. Peace out.